What up, everybody? This is Adam, aka Guzzofunk, and welcome to Dirty Dusty Records. This is the YouTube channel in which we review new records, old records, soul records, funk records, weird records, and every record in between. Let me give a little bit of history about myself. I started looking for records back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I got into record digging through hip hop. I was originally looking for samples. I went for looking from samples, and then I got into looking for songs that were funky, and then I got looking into albums that were funky, and then I got into albums that were weird, and then I got into collecting thousands of records that I have today. I've seen several channels that review records in the past, saw a lot of record reviews of new stuff, a lot of stuff about colored vinyl, and while all that stuff is cool, it's not me. I'm an old school digger. I'm more into finding something that's original and unique. So let's get into talking about some records now. First record up is a record by an artist named Brian Bennett called Fantasia. Now, this comes out on the Bruton label, which is a library label. For those that don't know, a library label is a label that is made up of a bunch of various composers creating specific sounds to be used in commercials, TV shows. These were for people that couldn't afford to score things themselves, and so they would go to these music libraries. This particular one was done by Brian Bennett, who was a longtime composer, and it's probably best known for the track Discovery. Discovery was sampled by Nas early on in his career. This album is also available commercially as Voyage into Discoid Funk, I believe on the DJM label. Next record is a compilation record. This one is from down in Texas and has a very Tex-Mex kind of vibe to it. It's called Los Idolos Texas. It features multiple artists that were on a label called Elle Serape. The cool thing about this particular label is a lot of their songs in the descriptors, they would say whether it's like a ranchera song or a country song or a bolero. And every once in a while, you would look through some of their releases and you would see songs that are called soul or pop. This has 3 soul releases, including a cover of the Meter's Sissy Strut done by Joe Bravo. I can't play tracks for you here, but you can easily look up Sissy Strut Joe Bravo online and you will find the version of this. It's really just a fantastic version. Sounds a lot like the original, but kind of flipped with a little bit of Latin influence. This record right here is not a record that you will see on a lot of highly valuable lists, but to me, I find it to be one of the most enjoyable records I have. It's called Solid Rock. It's by the classic Motown group, The Temptations. It's from 1972, and it's at a point where they had a producer named Norman Whitfield. Norman Whitfield was known for his psychedelic soul sound. If you hear any Temptations from around 1968 onward to about 1973-74, they'll all have that kind of signature Norman Whitfield sound. This particular album has a fantastic, really long cover of Ain't No Sunshine, several other very long, drony tracks that are just wonked out. Also has some really smooth, beautiful soul tracks like It's Summer, which has Eddie Kendricks, who was the group's falsetto, singing lead. If you take away anything from these reviews, take away that this record here is probably $10 and something that you're certainly look into getting. This particular record is something that kind of falls into what people call modern soul, which is a soul sound from around the late 70s into the very early 80s. It's not quite disco, although the group itself is made up of 2 very famous disco producers. One named Michael Lewis and one named Lauren Rinder. They kind of became go-to producers for a lot of other artists, but this particular release is far more soulful. It's got a really cheesy of the time cover, a very softball team gathering around to take a photo before or after a game. They look like they're gonna head to the pizza parlor afterwards and get themselves a couple pictures, but never mind the cover, the music on it is certainly worth getting. This was found in a thrift shop many years ago. I think I probably saw the cover and didn't think so much about the music until I took it home and actually listened and was very impressed. These are all the records I'll be reviewing today. In the future, I hope to do far more episodes. I'd love to hear your comments. Being that this is the first episode, I am definitely looking for some feedback on what I should do, what did work, what didn't work, what you'd like to see more of. I hope to do themed episodes in the future, and I will see you guys later.